Have you ever looked at a single penny and thought it could change your life forever? Imagine a coin so common, yet so uniquely rare, that it could be worth a staggering $4 million. A single 1996 USA 1-cent coin, a piece of copper-coated zinc that has stunned the numismatic world and captured the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. Welcome to the journey of a humble coin that emerged from the Denver Mint in 1996 and went on to achieve legendary status not because of what it was intended to be, but because of the rare, mysterious, and valuable anomalies that found their way into its final form. This isn't just a story about a coin, it's a tale of microscopic imperfections, minting errors, historical significance, accidental brilliance, and the incredible unpredictability of coin production that resulted in one of the most valuable pennies ever to be discovered. In a world where billions of pennies circulate without a second glance, this 1996 1-cent coin carved out a name for itself through a unique combination of mint errors and an incredibly small number of surviving specimens, each telling its own dramatic story of fate and fortune. At the heart of this coin's extraordinary value lies a captivating list of rare characteristics that have baffled experts and eluded the average eye for decades. Anomalies such as doubled dies that affect both the obverse and reverse, off-center strikes that dramatically shift the design to one side, and rare planchet flaws that result in unusual coloring, missing elements, or extra metal layers never meant to exist. One known variety of the 1996 penny even showcases an exceptionally rare full brockage error, in which the coin was struck against another coin instead of a blank planchet, resulting in a mirrored, inkest image, an event so uncommon in minting history that it's practically a once-in-a-century occurrence. Adding to the fascination is the mystery of how so few of these flawed coins escaped the mint's rigorous quality checks and entered circulation, often unnoticed for years until a keen-eyed collector spotted the anomaly. While millions of regular 1996 pennies were produced, only a minuscule fraction carried the flaws that would later define their astronomical worth. Among these flaws, one example was found with a rotated die error, where the reverse of the coin is misaligned by a significant angle when compared to the obverse, an error so rare that collectors have paid six-figure sums just to obtain one. Others have turned up with die caps, a situation where a coin sticks to the die and impresses its design onto multiple subsequent planchets, resulting in warped and bizarre coin shapes that are equally mesmerizing and baffling. These mistakes aren't just errors, they're accidents of history, stories frozen in metal that offer a glimpse into the unpredictable world of minting and the rare events that make certain coins millions of times more valuable than their face value. And let's not forget about the market dynamics. The frenzy that erupts when a previously unknown 1996 era penny appears at auction, sending collectors and investors into a bidding war that catapults its value into the millions. In one shocking case, a collector reportedly discovered such a coin in an old family jar, unassuming and buried beneath decades of dust, and walked away with a life-changing fortune after authentication revealed it to be one of the few genuine full brockage 1996 1-cent coins in existence. The numismatic community continues to obsess over this coin because it represents everything that makes coin collecting thrilling: the chance discovery, the mysterious origin, the clash of human error and machine precision, and the sky-high stakes for those who dare to dream big. And yet, despite all the hype and headlines, so many questions remain unanswered. How many of these ultra-rare 1996 pennies are still out there, hiding in drawers, piggy banks, or coin rolls? Could you be the next lucky person to uncover a multi-million-dollar treasure in your spare change? Every collector knows the excitement of that moment, when a familiar coin turns out to be anything but ordinary, when years of patient searching and studying finally pay off, and when 1 cent becomes the key to an unimaginable fortune. The 1996 USA 1-cent coin has sparked not only curiosity but a revolution in the way collectors view modern coins, proving that even relatively recent issues can be worth more than gold if the conditions are right. And these conditions are often a perfect storm of minting mishaps, limited exposure, preservation, rarity, and the growing global appetite for tangible history. Auction houses have noted that prices for rare era coins, particularly those from the 1990s, have been skyrocketing, driven by online communities, numismatic influencers, and a new generation of collectors armed with knowledge, magnifiers, and a sense of wonder. The 1990 60 penny stands as a beacon in this cultural shift, becoming not just a collector's item but a symbol of possibility, of how something deemed small and insignificant by most can hold extraordinary value when looked at with the right eyes. This coin has changed lives and redefined value, giving new meaning to the phrase, "Every penny counts." So as you sort through your spare change or dust off your old coin collections, remember this story, because the next 1990 61-cent coin worth $4 million might just be in your hand right now. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through one of the most valuable and talked about coins in modern history. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the mystery, rarity, and millions behind a single penny, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more fascinating stories that prove sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest worth. Next, 2002 1-cent coin. Have you ever imagined stumbling upon a coin so ordinary, yet so secretly valuable that it could change your life forever? Picture this: a simple, copper-colored 1-cent coin from 2002, something most people wouldn't even bother to pick up off the sidewalk, is actually worth a staggering $2 million due to its shocking historical significance, rare minting errors, and hidden collectible value that only the most observant eyes and sharpest collectors have come to appreciate, making it one of the most jaw-dropping underdog stories in the history of American numismatics. And as we dive deep into this treasure trove of mystery, rarity, and economics, the true magic of this unassuming coin begins to unfold, because while billions of pennies were minted in 2002, only a handful carried the traits, anomalies, and mistakes that elevate their status far beyond everyday change. And what makes the 2002 1-cent coin truly unique is a confluence of factors, from double die obverse to misaligned dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, planchet errors, and more, each of which plays a pivotal role in creating coins that slip through the minting process unnoticed by machines, only to be caught years later by eagle-eyed collectors who understand the value of imperfection, because in the world of rare coins, a flaw can be a fortune, and one of the most celebrated variations of the 2002 penny is the double die obverse, where Lincoln's image and inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date appear doubled, giving a ghostly echo to the design. And the rarity of these anomalies isn't just a visual quirk, it's a deep reflection of the mechanical hiccups that occurred during the minting process. And considering how precise U.S. mint operations are supposed to be, the presence of such errors only increases a coin's worth dramatically, especially when combined with pristine condition, verified authenticity, and historical provenance. And there have been rumors among the numismatic community about a limited batch of 2002 pennies being struck on experimental planchets. Planchets being the blank discs that become coins, which could have involved using leftover blanks from previous years, mixed metal compositions, or even coins struck on foreign planchets meant for other denominations. And when these elements are fused with visual oddities like off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned and the design is misprinted, collectors go wild for them. Especially when the misalignment is significant but enough of the design remains visible to confirm its authenticity. And it doesn't end there, because some of the most sought-after 2002 1-cent coins exhibit die cracks and cuds, raised lumps or gaps on the coin where the die itself broke or chipped during minting, effectively turning each affected coin into a one-of-a-kind piece, a frozen moment in minting history that can never be exactly replicated. And the appeal of such coins is compounded by their scarcity in circulation, as most flawed coins are either destroyed, caught by inspectors, or lost to time, making survivors exceedingly rare and thus astronomically valuable. And collectors will pay top dollar for coins that not only have these minting flaws but also retain exceptional grades from professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, and a 2002 penny graded MS69 or even MS70. The highest possible grades reflecting near perfect or perfect condition, is akin to finding a flawless diamond in a field of gravel. And it's not just American collectors who value this coin. Global demand from international investors and collectors has driven up auction prices, where rare era coins from 2002 have fetched 6- and even 7-figure sums, with private sales often remaining undisclosed for confidentiality but whispered about in coin forums and expert circles. And then there's the mythology surrounding the Denver and Philadelphia mints that struck these coins, with specific batches allegedly known to contain higher instances of errors due to machinery replacements or test runs during that minting year, making those coins from certain rolls and bags more desirable than others. And if you happen to find a 2002 penny with a D mint mark or none at all, you might want to examine it under magnification, because subtle signs of doubling, rotation, off-metal strike, or even weakly struck features could mean you're holding a multi-million-dollar artifact of American economic history. And remember that many historic coins discovered years or even decades after minting initially appeared as mundane pocket change until someone realized the truth hiding in plain sight, and the 2002 1-cent coin now joins the ranks of those rare modern rarities whose legend grows every time one is pulled from a forgotten jar, a grandparent's collection, or a dusty attic box, because this coin represents more than just currency. It's a reminder that history, value, and destiny can be hiding in the smallest, most overlooked corners of our lives, and whether it's due to a dramatic die clash where the two dies collide without a planchet, leaving mirrored ghost images, or a subtle shift in metal composition due to leftover zinc-copper blend ratios from earlier production years, the sheer volume of possible minting irregularities on the 2002 penny is breathtaking, and as interest surges thanks to social media, viral YouTube videos, and collector expos where these coins are showcased like celebrities, the 2002 penny has achieved almost mythical status, and stories have surfaced of people paying off mortgages, buying luxury cars, or even retiring early after cashing in one of these elusive pieces, all because they had the curiosity to inspect a penny a little closer than most. And in a world dominated by digital currency and credit cards, the irony that a 1-cent coin can be worth millions is a poetic twist that captivates not just collectors but dreamers everywhere. And now, as the hunt intensifies, more people are emptying their piggy banks, checking under couch cushions, and sifting through years of saved pocket change hoping to strike it rich, because unlike lottery tickets, where odds are printed, the odds here are unknown and thrilling, and for every 100 million normal coins, there might be just one that changes everything, and this reality makes the 2002 1-cent coin not just a collector's prize but a symbol of possibility, of everyday magic, and of forgotten treasures waiting to be found. And whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just starting out, this story proves that extraordinary value can emerge from the most ordinary objects, and that the past is not dead. It lives on in the metal, the history, the hands that pass coins back and forth every single day without ever knowing the legacy they carry. So next time you hold a penny, don't toss it aside, examine it, study it, because it just might be one of the rare 2002 US 1-cent coins valued at $2 million. And if this story fascinated you, inspired you, or got you excited to start checking your change, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more rare coin discoveries, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that could make you a millionaire. Next, 2017 P. Today we are diving deep into the captivating journey of the 2017 P 1-cent coin, a coin that was supposed to be just another penny in circulation but instead became the center of intense attention in the world of numismatics due to a unique set of errors and unexpected minting details that have driven its value as high as $63,000 in verified auction sales. And what makes this coin particularly interesting is not only its error variety, but also its historical context, because 2017 marked the first year in U.S. history that the Philadelphia Mint placed its P mint mark on a 1-cent coin, a change implemented in honor of the Mint's 225th anniversary, which on its own would make it a notable collectible, but combined with the surprising number of error coins released that year, the 2017 P penny has become a treasure hunt obsession for collectors across the country. And while billions of these coins were minted, only a handful are known to exhibit the types of extraordinary mistakes that elevate them from pocket change to pieces of high-value interest, and among these, one particular coin stands out, a specimen that has surfaced with multiple overlapping errors, each of which on its own would be considered rare, but combined, they have created a numismatic phenomenon. And this specific coin, now valued at $63,000, showcases one of the clearest known examples of a double die obverse, in which the details on Lincoln's face, the inscriptions such as Liberty and even the numbers in the date appear to be doubled in a bold, unmistakable fashion, indicating a major failure in the die creation process where a hub misalignment occurred during the striking of the die used to mint the coin. And what's more compelling is that the doubling is strong enough to be seen with the naked eye, a rarity in modern coins, and immediately sparked interest among error coin specialists. And as this coin circulated, further investigations revealed more anomalies, including a subtle off-center strike where the design is misaligned from the planchet, causing an uneven border and shifted imagery, which often occurs when the planchet is not properly seated in the striking chamber. But the intrigue doesn't end there, because under closer inspection, the coin also displays clear signs of a die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies came into contact without a planchet between them, causing design elements from the reverse to appear faintly on the obverse side, adding yet another rare error layer to this already unusual piece. And when collectors began reporting these strange combinations of errors from coins pulled straight from circulation, the buzz grew rapidly, leading to mass coin roll hunts, eBay listings, Facebook coin groups discussing new finds, and an increased scrutiny from professional grading services that began to receive more 2017 pennies for certification than almost any other modern coin of the same denomination. And among the thousands examined, only a few were found to have multiple overlapping errors, such as die cracks that stretched dramatically across Lincoln's head, rim cuts where pieces of the die broke away causing a raised, blob-like area on the rim, and even coins struck through grease, a condition in which grease or debris clogs parts of the die, leading to missing or faded design elements, which further fueled speculation that the Philadelphia Mint may have experienced unusual mechanical or quality control issues during that commemorative production year. And as interest peaked, one specific coin graded by a top-tier agency with a perfect designation for mint error, doubled die, and high-grade condition emerged as the ultimate prize among 2017 cents and went to auction, where fierce bidding from seasoned collectors, institutions, and investors pushed the final sale price to an astonishing $63,000, a record that shattered expectations for a coin less than a decade old and sent ripple effects through the coin community, prompting collectors to dig through their spare change and re-examine any 2017 pennies they might have previously overlooked. And beyond the mint errors, the historical value also adds to its significance, since the 2017 penny marks a first in U.S. mint history with the addition of a mint mark on the obverse side of a cent coin from Philadelphia, an institution that traditionally did not place mint marks on its pennies, which makes this coin a milestone piece regardless of its error status. But when combined with the minting anomalies, its scarcity becomes even more profound, and one of the most fascinating aspects about this coin's rise in value is the sheer number of error types it represents: doubling, misalignment, die clash, die cracks, and surface deformities, all layered into one piece, making it not just a rare coin but a textbook example of minting failures and how such mistakes, when preserved in a single specimen, can elevate a coin's value exponentially. And that's not even counting the few that have been discovered with unusual toning, often caused by environmental exposure or planchet contamination, creating rainbow-like effects on the surface that, while not technically an error, are highly desirable among collectors for aesthetic uniqueness. And some numismatists even speculate that experimental processes, such as untested planchet batches or adjusted striking pressures in honor of the 225th mint anniversary, may have led to a higher probability of error during the minting of this specific issue, which, if proven true, would further enhance the narrative and historic value of this cent. And as more collectors become aware of the coin's potential, its notoriety continues to grow, creating a domino effect where even previously undervalued coins from the same series are now gaining attention. And what started as a cent often dismissed as modern pocket change has now become a symbol of opportunity, proof that even recent coins can hold immense hidden value if the right conditions are met. And this has sparked a modern-day treasure hunt, with people checking rolls, jars, drawers, and pockets for a chance at discovering one of these high-value errors. and the $63,000 coin stands as a monument to this movement, embodying how a mistake, an oversight, or a mechanical malfunction can become a key that unlocks a small fortune. And it encourages collectors to look not just at age or rarity in terms of mintage, but at the complex story a coin tells through its imperfections, and in doing so, transforms the hobby of coin collecting into something far more thrilling and accessible to the everyday person who might unknowingly be holding something truly special. So as the legacy of the 2017 P1 cent coin continues to grow and inspire new waves of collectors, remember that value can come from the most unexpected places and that your next great discovery could be resting in the change you got at the store. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more incredible stories from the universe of hidden treasures and numismatic wonders. Next, 2001 cent coin. Today we're diving deep into the incredible and jaw-dropping story of a 2001 cent coin that, against all odds and expectations, has shocked collectors, numismatists, and treasure hunters around the world, with a current known market value reaching as high as $21,003 due to its mysterious minting errors, fascinating flaws, and rare production anomalies that have transformed it from a simple piece of copper-plated zinc into a legendary artifact of American coinage history. And as we peel back the layers of this extraordinary penny story, you'll see why even a coin that was once considered pocket lint is now turning heads and capturing imaginations in auction houses, coin shows, and online marketplaces alike. Because while billions of 1-cent coins were minted in the year 2000, only a handful escaped with the rare combination of mechanical errors, metallurgical quirks, and visual misprints that have made them among the most desirable and valuable pieces in the modern collector world. And among the most captivating features found on the 2000 penny are the highly sought-after double die obverse and reverse variations where the inscriptions like "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or even the year 2000 appear duplicated due to misalignment in the die imprinting process, which results in a slight ghosting or shadow effect that is visible even to the naked eye if you're observant enough. And this kind of doubling, especially when dramatic and well-preserved, is known to dramatically increase a coin's value, as it demonstrates a rare minting anomaly that could only have occurred under very specific circumstances. And if that weren't enough, some of these coins also exhibit off-center strikes where the image of President Lincoln or the surrounding inscriptions are shifted significantly to one side of the coin, creating a lopsided and incomplete appearance that is both visually arresting and highly collectible. And depending on how far off-center the strike is, ranging from 5% to over 90%, the value can increase exponentially, especially when the mint mark and date remain fully visible. And then we must consider the infamous broad strike error, which occurs when the coin is struck without the restraining collar that gives it its final shape, resulting in a coin that's wider, flatter, and sometimes irregularly shaped. And this error, while uncommon, adds another layer of desirability to the 2000 penny, particularly when it coincides with other errors like a double die or a die clash, the latter being a fascinating phenomenon where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, leaving ghostly mirror images of the design on both sides of the coin and producing a dramatic and eerie visual effect that stuns both casual observers and seasoned collectors. And while some collectors chase mint-state versions of these errors, coins that remain in near-perfect condition despite the flaws, others look for coins with unusual surface conditions such as lamination errors where the thin plating on the coin peels away from the surface due to improper bonding during production, exposing the underlying metal in jagged or flaky patches that give the coin a distressed, almost ancient look. And this type of error, although subtle, is quite rare in the 2000 penny and is especially prized when found alongside other errors like a rotated die alignment, where the reverse side of the coin is misaligned relative to the obverse when flipped vertically, creating an odd, twisted orientation that further elevates the uniqueness of the coin. And speaking of uniqueness, one of the more elusive and captivating errors found on select 2000 pennies involves planchet anomalies where coins were accidentally struck on planchets meant for foreign currency, or even on leftover blanks from previous years made of slightly different metal compositions, creating coins that may have unusual weights, colors, or tonalities that set them apart from standard circulation examples, and these types of wrong planchet errors are rare and typically require precise measurement, weight analysis, and sometimes X-ray fluorescence to confirm. But when verified, they're among the most valuable and intriguing types of errors in numismatics. And what's more fascinating is the presence of coins struck with defective dies that produce what's known as cuds, raised blobs or missing sections along the edge of the coin where a portion of the die broke off, leaving a permanent gap in the design, which in turn results in a lumpy or cratered appearance that is instantly identifiable and highly prized by error coin specialists. And when you combine all these potential errors, double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die clashes, rotated dies, planchet errors, cuds, and laminations, the possibility that a single 2001 cent coin might exhibit more than one of these anomalies skyrockets its value from a single cent to over $21,000. And with the growing interest in coin collecting, particularly during recent years when people have had more time to sort through their change at home, the 2000 penny has become a hot target, often selling for hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars depending on its condition, error combination, and rarity. And professional grading services like PCGS and NGC have played a crucial role in certifying and authenticating these coins, giving buyers confidence and creating a transparent market for rare errors. And stories have begun to emerge about lucky individuals who unknowingly spent years holding on to these pennies, only to realize later they were in possession of a miniature fortune. And in some remarkable cases, these discoveries have changed lives. People have paid off debts, funded college educations, or even started small businesses thanks to selling a single extraordinary coin that had been overlooked for decades. And the beauty of this tale lies not only in the dollar value but in the idea that something so small and seemingly insignificant could carry such immense historical, mechanical, and cultural significance, reminding us that our history is sometimes quite literally in our hands, and every scratch, line, and detail tells a story of American craftsmanship, mechanical unpredictability, and the ever-evolving narrative of money itself. And as collectors continue to search, to study, to share their findings in forums and exhibitions, the mystique of the 2000 penny only grows stronger, especially when auction houses report record-breaking sales and private collectors quietly offer eye-watering amounts to secure one of the few confirmed examples with a perfect blend of visual flair, error rarity, and historical charm. And some even believe there are still undiscovered varieties waiting to be found, tucked away in change jars, vending machines, or coin rolls at the bank. And so the hunt continues, with magnifying glasses and digital microscopes, with excitement and patience, as coin lovers hope to be the next person to discover a fortune in the form of a humble, copper-colored 1-cent piece from the year 2000 that defies all odds and expectations. And if this story inspired you, if it made you curious about your own collection or the coins you encounter every day, don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to our channel for more incredible discoveries, and stay tuned for even more hidden stories from the world of rare and valuable coins. Last, today's deep dive into numismatic mystery brings you the astonishing tale of the 1995 1-cent coin, a coin that in the eyes of most appears as nothing more than an everyday penny used in common transactions but has stunned collectors, auctioneers, and investors by fetching a remarkable value of $52,519 due to an extremely rare combination of minting errors, production anomalies, and subtle design deviations that have propelled it into the elite realm of modern American coins worth far more than their face value. And it all begins in the Denver Mint, the production site responsible for creating hundreds of millions of 1-cent coins every year. Yet during the production cycle of 1995 something unusual happened, and it was not until years later that collectors started identifying a pattern of abnormalities present in some of the coins minted that year. And among those anomalies emerged a specific 1995 penny that displayed characteristics so unique, so unprecedented, that it would go on to redefine the standard by which mint errors were evaluated. Because this single coin features a rare double die obverse that is dramatically visible without the aid of magnification, with the letters in Liberty, the phrase, In God We Trust, and even the date, 1995. appearing doubled and slightly misaligned, and while the Philadelphia minted 1995 doubled die cent is relatively known and has circulated within era collecting communities, the Denver version was long thought not to exist until this one surfaced, instantly attracting attention from era specialists and graders who determined that it wasn't just a one-off die shift but an actual double die from the D mint, a type never officially recorded before, which alone would have made it highly desirable. But this coin did not stop at just the doubling. Further analysis revealed that the strike was slightly off-center, meaning the design had shifted towards one side of the coin and left a portion of the blank planchet exposed on the rim, a mistake often caused by misalignment between the planchet and the striking dies, and adding to that, there were signs of die cracks along Lincoln's shoulder and extending diagonally through the field of the obverse, indicators of a deteriorating die that should have been retired but was instead used far past its prime, resulting in raised lines and fissures in the metal which increase rarity because of how they visually distort the coin, and more impressively, there was a pronounced die chip in the area near Lincoln's bowtie that formed what collectors often call a blob, or cud, giving the impression that Lincoln is wearing a badge or extra clothing detail, and this unique feature has become one of the identifying markers of this particular specimen. And turning over to the reverse side of the coin, you'd notice faint weakness in the strike of the Lincoln Memorial columns, suggesting a possible strike-through error where debris, grease, or oil obstructed part of the die during impact, muting some of the fine detail, and collectively, these layered mint errors, doubled die, off-center strike, die cracks, die chip, and strike-through grease, combine into what numismatists call a compound error coin. And these are among the most desired in the error coin market because they demonstrate a cascade of failures in the minting process and are exceedingly rare, especially when found in such pristine condition as this example, and when this coin surfaced in a small private collection and was submitted to a leading coin grading service, experts were floored not only by the convergence of errors but by the incredible condition it was preserved in, earning a top-tier mint state grade which is incredibly rare for a coin that likely circulated briefly before being noticed for its anomalies and pulled from use. And when the coin was finally offered at auction, competitive bidding pushed the price higher and higher as collectors and investors alike recognized the historic significance of a Denver minted 1995 doubled die with multiple strike anomalies, and when the final bid closed at $52,519, it cemented this humble penny's place in American numismatic history as a modern marvel that proved even coins from the late 20th century could command enormous value if their story and imperfections aligned just right, and since then, the coin has become a beacon for era coin collectors who now search every 1995 D penny they come across with renewed hope that another such treasure might still be hiding in the wild, and it has ignited deeper exploration into the production flaws of the mid-1990s, with many now theorizing that the high minting volume and increased wear on machinery may have caused more errors than previously documented, particularly in the Denver facility where production was running at full tilt to meet national circulation demands. And what makes this story even more compelling is the level of attention now being paid to minor details previously overlooked: minute die rotations, tilted hubs, ghosting, planchet laminations, or odd toning that could suggest metallurgical variation, all of which may hint at a rare production environment that produced not just one but potentially several yet undiscovered high-value coins. And beyond just the physical anomalies, there's the historical context too. As 1995 was a transitional year where advances in minting technology were becoming more standardized, but old and new methods were still blending, increasing the likelihood of error crossover events such as doubled dies being mistaken for machine doubling or planchet flaws being dismissed as post-mint damage, and this has encouraged collectors and graders alike to reevaluate coins from this era with more refined scrutiny. And as more high-powered microscopes and digital imaging tools become available to the hobbyist collector, people from all walks of life are now getting involved in examining their pocket change, and thanks to the fame of the $52,519 penny, the 1995 D issue has entered a new realm of desirability, where even minor errors or unique die states are being graded, collected, and preserved. And all of this stems from one overlooked coin that turned out to be the perfect storm of minting errors, historical relevance, and fortunate discovery. Proving once again that value isn't always tied to rarity of age, but often to the rarity of mistake, and the magic of coin. Collecting lies in the unknown, the possibility that a life-changing treasure might be resting in the palm of your hand, jingling at the bottom of your purse, or sleeping quietly in a coin jar waiting to be noticed. And with that hope in mind, collectors continue to search, and the legend of the 1995 penny worth $52,519 lives on, encouraging a new generation to pay closer attention to the smallest details in the most unexpected places, because you never know when a penny might be worth a fortune. So if you found this deep dive as exciting and revealing as we did, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more incredible stories about the coins that changed lives, shaped history, and proved that mistakes sometimes hold the greatest value of all.